Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. I'm running on empty, but I am running. We got two more Q posts for you, and I want to go through them here. 24:45, 59 minutes after the hour of 1 a.m. Q says, do you believe in coincidences? Which two House members ran the investigations regarding DOJ and FBI, etc.? Well, that was Trey Gowdy and Bob Goodlatte. And it takes us to this link right here, House of Representatives Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte. This was from back in April 2018. Washington, D.C. Today, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte and House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy released the following statement after reaching an agreement with DOJ Assistant Attorney General Stephen E. Boyd and United States Attorney John Lausch to review and obtain documents and information pursuant to the committee's joint investigation into decisions made in 2016 and 2017. The committees have reached an agreement with the Department of Justice to access the documents we have been requesting for months. We look forward to reviewing the information to better understand the decisions made by the Department of Justice in 2016 and 2017. Congress has a constitutional responsibility to preserve the integrity of our justice system by ensuring transparency and accountability of actions taken. And then this was what was done essentially. In October 2017, the committees opened a joint investigation into the decisions made by the Department of Justice in 2016 and 17. In December 2017, the committee sent a follow-up letter requesting documents and information regarding the FBI's decision-making in 2016 and 17. On March 22nd, the House Judiciary Committee issued a subpoena to the Department of Justice for documents pursuant to the committee's joint investigation. And on April 11th, Chairman Goodlatte and Chairman Gowdy met with U.S. Attorney John Lausch to discuss the committee's access to documents related to our joint investigation. Okay, remember that was back in April. So Gowdy resigned. And he said that he wanted to go back into the judicial system. Of course, there's been a lot of question as to what role he would be taking on. Q says, what role did he play regarding House investigations? Well, he was the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee chairman. And then we had Goodlatte's resignation last year, too. What role did he play regarding House investigation? Well, he was the House Judiciary Chairman. And then we have here three times House to Senate, House, Senate, House, Senate. So does that mean that we're transferring things from the House to the Senate? If you remember when Gowdy resigned, he said he was kind of nebulous about what he said he was going to do, but he did say that he wanted to get back into the judicial system. So now obviously he wasn't running for senator, but who knows what role he might be playing. But the idea that I'm getting here is that all of this with Goodlatte's resignation and Gowdy's resignation, all this material got transferred over to the Senate. And of course, the Senate is really the where all the things happen within the judiciary system. Really needs to start going through the Senate. And that's why the Senate was so important. Q says trust Grassley. Well, why trust Grassley? Because he's the Senate Judiciary Chairman, House of Cards. So it looks like what they were really trying to do was play for the Senate all along, get the Democrats to play for the House. But the fact of the matter is, if the House thinks they're going to impeach Trump, they got another thing coming, and all they have to do is look back to basically when the same kind of thing happened for Bill Clinton. This is not an easy thing to impeach a sitting president, and that's just not going to happen. Q says military planning at its finest. And I want to point out, too, that Chuck Grassley was looking into these 702s. This is from back in May of 2016. I'm not going to read all this for you here, but this was where he was questioning the Section 702 of the FISA Amendments Act, and he was trying to grill the Obama administration about this. So Grassley knows what's up. He's known what's up for a long time. I have a feeling that all of these recommendations and appointments will go over to the Senate now. Chuck Grassley will be the man heading this up. And that is military planning at its finest. And my suspicions are confirmed here in 2446. 6 minutes after the hour of 2, we get this Twitter link right here to Donald Trump, and it's actually a few tweets here, but let me go ahead and read you the most recent ones here. There's only been 5 times in the last 105 years that an incumbent president has won seats in the Senate in the off-year election. Mr. Trump has magic about him. This guy has magic coming out of his ears. He is an astonishing vote getter and campaigner. The Republicans are unbelievably lucky to have him, and I'm just awed at how well they've done. It's all the Trump's magic. Trump is the magic man. Incredible. He's got the entire media against him, attacking him every day, and he pulls out these enormous wins. Ben Stein, the capitalist code. Okay, well, of course, down below you see a bunch of liberals clowning him, talking about how they took the House, but he's really bragging about the Senate, and I find it very interesting that he's talking about magic. Trump magic. Trump is the magic man. And so over here, we're talking about a house of cards. So are we talking about a house of cards? Are we talking about a card trick? Are we talking about sleight of hand? Q says the Senate was the target. Corker plus Flake removed. And remember, those guys were never Trumpers, so we had to get them out of the way. And we did. How do you catch a fish? Well, you got to put something on the hook, right? Mission forward. These people are stupid. So I get the idea that this, like I've said all along, this threat of D-class has always been almost worse than the D-class itself. And of course, for us, we're screaming, where's the beef? Because we want our Whopper with cheese, right? But it looks to me like when you put that on the hook, you get a bunch of fish coming. Lots of people are probably talking. And the only way to really push forward is with the Senate. And believe me, if you want to control one of the two, it's the Senate that you really want to control. Obviously, we would have loved to have had more wins in the House, but we got a lot of governorships, and we held really, really strong. We actually picked up some ground in the Senate. So I think this is a great thing. These people are stupid. FISA should be able to move forward, and I don't see it being able to get wrapped up the way we might think it is. Now, I still want to let more information kind of come forward with all this, but that's sort of the way that I'm looking at it, at least at this point. So there are your most recent Q posts. All in all, I think it was a pretty good day. It looks to me like all systems are go. The Senate is highly empowered. And remember, those are 6-year terms as opposed to the lesser House, which is 2-year terms. So at the very worst case scenario, we could be looking at doing this again in 2020 when it's time for President Trump to be running for re-election. And I think he set himself a stage doing all these massive rallies. Look, he's been trying to sell, congressmen and senators and all this. Meanwhile, he's been selling himself all along, and he's really the attraction. So I think we're going to do really well there. I don't think impeachment is going to gain as much steam as they'd like to say that it will, although I'm sure they're going to try and wrap it up as much as they possibly can. Now, if we do get a FISA D-class and it ends up exposing a bunch of people, who knows what kind of seats might get vacated in the process. Now, I'm not going to count on that right now because we don't know. I think right now, just taking it at face value, we're sitting pretty well, but that's a possibility. So if a FISA D-class opens up some seats, it could lead to even better things. And I think either way, we are moving forward with the Q plan. I don't see the Q plan losing much steam in all of this. Obviously, we would love to have more seats in the House, but that's the way it is. And they went really hard after it. And I think some of these candidates are probably going to be duds. So in a couple of years, we may be looking at them fizzling it out or not. Who knows? Maybe they'll absolutely be, embraced by the left. We'll have to see how it goes. But that's where we sit right now. Now, there is a video, is an interview with Lindsey Graham. He was on Fox earlier, who was absolutely atrocious. Fox is just become complete trash, and they showed it. Shouldn't be much of a surprise. Just look where they're funded. But I think they're going to lose a lot of viewership after today's handling of kind of calling the House win before it was even called for. It was just really kind of salt in the wound. It was really kind of an ugly way of handling it. But the interview with Lindsey Graham was very good, and he brought up some very key points that I'd like to bring up with you too. I think it's always important for us to look at ourselves at what we could do better. And Lindsey Graham made a good point about President Trump not really reaching kind of this middle-aged white women demographic, and he's kind of disenfranchised a lot of them. Now, obviously not all, but there's a lot of them out there that didn't vote for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Donald Trump kind of change his tone a little bit really over the next couple of years. Of course, you know, he's a work in progress, right? He's not a particular politician. We love him for that. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that get rubbed the wrong way by the way he speaks. And I don't think it's unfair for us to recognize that if we want to be able to improve upon our numbers over the next couple of years. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a softening president as we go on, especially if we want to see 4 more years. But like I said, he set himself a nice stage going around and campaigning, doing these rallies at breakneck speed, and he really sells himself perfectly. Sadly, there were a lot of duds that he was trying to sell, and quite honestly, we can credit him for a few wins today. So President Trump really did his job. I think overall it was a great day. There's lots to take from this, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. But I do think we'll see some voter fraud stuff go on over the next week or so. And we'll have to see how that shakes out and where we end up sitting. Who knows? We may end up gaining or losing ground, but I imagine we would only stand to gain when it comes to that. So there you go. That's my hot take on it, and I'm sticking to it. You can let me know what you think down below, but either way, stay up, Patriots. We're doing fantastic, and the plan is moving forward. This is Sir Patrick Mack. That's all I got for you today. As always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to all of you who share my videos, and if you are new to this channel, please keep in mind that you will be unclicked and unliked and unshared and unsubscribed, because that's social media these days when you lean conservatively or just think for yourself. All right, all my links are down below. If you'd like to support my channel, my Patreon link is down there below. I would greatly appreciate it. And all my other links to my Gab, my BitChute, Real.video, which is now Brighteon.com, is down there too. And I spend a lot of my time over here on Twitter at IPOT 1776. That's at IPOT 1776. So when I'm not making videos, I'm usually over here running my mouth. All right, kids, that's all I got for you. And until next time, stay up.